YB Teresa Cookman in 2008. Number one, will DAP hold the line when you form the government? When you disagree, will DAP leave like what the failure of MCA did today to UMNO? And second question, what will the Pakatan do to the frauds, potential frauds, even you win? 5 million, I think is too small of amount. They will do whatever they do to make the government fall, even you win. What steps are you going to do? And one local question, YB Hannah, is what's your opinion to CCTV within Subang Jaya? Because I think the crime is too much. I lost a car, I got robbed. I think Subang Jaya is fully developed. It's time to have CCTV within our neighborhood. Thank you. And all the best to both of you. Thank you.
CCTV, before we came in, they already had a contract. And after we came in, Selangor government also signed for more CCTVs. The location of CCTVs are not decided by the politicians. The location of CCTVs are decided by the police. Okay, so the police will tell us where to put the CCTVs. The CCTVs are also monitored at MPSJ and also at the police station. I've asked this question before, but I have not gotten an answer. I've asked, based on the money we're spending on CCTVs every year, how effective have the CCTVs been? Have they been successful in capturing or solving any cases? I've not gotten an answer. That's the truth. So from our side, we have to cooperate with the police. Whatever the police need to have to function more effectively, we will help. Okay, so I give you an example, not just CCTVs. If they say they need police beat, I use the state money to buy police beat for them, even though that is supposed to be under the jurisdiction budget of the Home Ministry. So here in Subang, I've given them 2 police beat, 7,000 and another one cheaper in SS15 because of the crime rate there requested by the residents. I have actually gone for separate dialogues with residents, different area like USJ1, they say we need a police beat. I have written in to the police. For USJ2 as well, I've written in, but the police cannot commit to providing manpower. So there's no point I buy a police beat and there's no one there. So that's why I told them when I wrote to them, I say, I buy your police beat, you must commit to me, you must provide manpower. They are unable to. So from our side, we can only keep pushing for patrolling. And I've also asked that the police will release statistics for neighborhoods so that we know the modus operandi. If there are 5 cases here, how can we, be on alert? So we need to improve the police force. From our side, we just have to keep pushing. At the state level, state government has also written into the CPO to say, we want to help provide auxiliary police. That means we want to send MPSJ enforcement officers to go out. But the police, they don't allow. They have written officially to the state government and say, no, we cannot give it to you. Okay, so at the state level, we are willing to cooperate, whatever they want. If they want aircon, we'll buy aircon. If they need computers, we will buy computers. All you have to do is just to visit police station, go and have a look and look at the state of the working environment that our police officers have to work in. Go to the Sunway police station, look, 3-4 policemen in one small little room, and their printers are old printers. So when you lodge a police report, you know how long it takes for them to get everything done and for it to be printed out. So that's why we say, police must reform and we must have the commitment of the Home Minister. We must have a Home Minister who will stop playing politics and start being serious about catching criminals.
The simple answer to that is vote us into Putrajaya and we'll sort out the police and the CCTV issue raises issue about privacy as well, so we have to be careful about that. But generally, the government has committed, Barisan National Government has committed to spend a lot of money on CCTV. Officially, that's what they tell you. The Pemandu report tells that. But when we actually analyze the figure, and this was in 2013 budget, we found out of 270 million spent on the NKRA for crime, they merely allocated something like 20 million for CCTV. Out of 270 million, that's less than, that's like 7% of the actual budget. Most of the budget, about 100 plus million, went to some public relations company to tell you that there's nothing to fear about crime. Now this is the problem with the government, yeah? They tell you one thing, they know that you have to physically buy the CCTV. They should be spending close to 100 million on the CCTV and probably 20 million on some nice ads about, you know, crime is a fiction of your imagination. Yeah. So that's what they've done. The whole world has turned upside down when it comes to crime prevention in Malaysia, and they're not honest, and they tell you the wrong figures. They somehow got some world justice organization to tell you that Singapore is more dangerous than Malaysia. And they try to, ram it through our throat and tell us crime doesn't exist. So this is the problem with the government, yeah? So voters in, we'll try to sort it out for you. We should be able to get some CCTV in, but without so much as to create an invasion of privacy laws and to make people feel less secure. Okay? Now, if I'm correct, the question about frogs, right? Jumping frogs. I love to eat frogs. I can assure you we're not going to cook them. So the important thing here is to make sure that we win big. Because people who jump are dishonest politicians. And they are everywhere, in every party. Okay, I'm not saying that we're all saints. I'm not saying all BN are bad people also. Frogs jump because they are dishonest, and also because they think they're jumping to the winning team, right? So the real solution is you have to win. If you win, the frogs will not jump to the other side, right? The 5 million, I know some of you are probably multi-millionaires, so you think 5 million is a small sum. But I think 5 million is a deterrent. It is not an absolute deterrent because someone could offer him 10 million, right? Then he will just double his money. But if you take the experience of this lady, the famous in Perak, I think there's a very heavy price to pay. You know, maybe she's got extra thick skin, but I think she was ostracized by the whole community. Yeah, and this is where if there's a frog out there, you have to make that person really, really suffer. Okay, so this is what I can only assure you. Win big so the frogs don't jump. Yeah, and then if he do jump or she jumps, you know, punish her in the way that you're rightfully entitled to punish her or him. Okay? Now, DAP.
On the question of DAP towing the line in Pakatan Raya, you mean? And you asked Teresa Kok that in 2007, 2008.
After they won.
Okay, after we won. Okay, in 2010, correct me if I'm wrong, Pakatan Raya had our first convention. All our leaders got together and signed a common policy framework. So all the points that we agree on are all stated in there. We signed that. So we cannot depart from that. Okay? It's in writing. Okay, so it's no longer a loose coalition. Yeah? And our relationship, I will tell you, is being sealed 2 days before nomination. You can see it where PAS openly say, you know, DAP, you can use our logo to contest. And then PKR also say, in Sabah and Sarawak, you can use it. So that to me, right, says a lot about the strength of the relationship, you know, the coalition, that we are really serious in governing. Everything that you read in the mainstream papers, Norman Fernandez, you read one or two, you know, don't forget there are thousands of DAP members in there who don't believe in the same thing. But because it's owned by MCA, they'll play it out like that. Yeah? Okay, so we have a common policy framework. We have a Pakatan Rakyat manifesto. Everything is sealed in writing. Okay? Thank you.
I just like to add, we've been working very hard on the policies for a very long time. We started about 4 years ago, in fact, when the policy team was formed. The Pakatan Rakyat Secretariat was formed, and we, you know, it's not like we woke up and decided to write the paper. It has gone through so many drafts and redrafts. There were a lot of arguments across the board, and eventually we settled down on the main issues that we want to agree on. So it's not a simple 2 days before election or 2 weeks before election we knock something up. No, it's blood and tears. You know, Rafizi has quite a temper, I can assure you. He's a small fellow. and he makes his point very strongly across. And Tony has the same, and Tony Pua, yeah, and Dr. Zoe, they all are strong leaders, and they all have very, very strong opinions about how to go forward. And we fought through all this. We did. So I don't see how after, if we were not serious about our partnership, we wouldn't argue. We just pretend. We didn't. We really went through hell together. Yeah? And finally we managed to narrow down to what we call a common policy platform that later became an economic policy. Yeah? Common policy platform, you can say, we are for love, justice, peace, those are standard things. Coming down to narrow policies require blood and tears. Yeah? So this partnership is not going to break, my friend. It's not going to break. We are ready. We come to power tomorrow. We are ready to roll out real policies, not just fuzzy ideas about love and peace. Yeah? These are real specific policies that we're going to roll out. Okay?
Okay.